This is an older Prodeco Phantom X. It's probably 2011, 2012, and you know, as you can see, it's an electric bike, kind of entry level, and the way they've designed this bike has some unique features. It's a folding frame, but the weight distribution and a couple other things can cause some hang-ups. So let me just jump right into it with the drive system. You've got a 500-watt direct drive, gearless rear hub motor, and that should offer a lot of power. It's smooth, there's no gears in there rubbing around, but it is a little bit heavier, okay? And it doesn't offer quite as much torque as maybe a geared motor would, but it's a 500-watt motor. That's pretty good power. It's being run off of this 36-volt, 12-amp-hour battery pack. It's pretty big, you know, it's sitting right up here over the rear wheel. It's got these nice support struts, and it's on this kind of rear rack arm coming off of the seat tube there, but it's, you know, it's pretty heavy. The technology that they're using here is lithium iron phosphate. It's a little bit less expensive, but it has good life. It's more stable than lithium ion. And I guess there's some mixes there. So because it's heavy and because it's situated over that rear wheel with no shock absorption besides the tire, you know, I've heard people who own this say, and shops actually say that people come in, the battery has like broken off and fallen off, and that it can just wreck your whole ride, which is kind of a bummer. The newer X3 and some of the other Prodeco bikes have like a couple of strut arms, and hopefully they're working on that plastic casing to make it a little bit better. I don't love that you have to leave the key in the ignition when you're riding. It'd be nice if you could just turn it on and pull it out, because if you've got this on a keychain, you know, your keys are dangling all around. I do like that it's got kind of a rear light built right in. It's kind of small, but you know, it works. And back to sort of the frame itself. It's nice that it's got a water bottle you know, mounts here, but it's interesting to me that such a large bike is a folding bike. Like, I can't imagine actually folding this. It's still huge, but you know, it's kind of a feature. The thing is that creates that, you know, it kind of weakens the frame. It's less rigid, okay? And that's the same for the pedals here. We've got plastic folding pedals. When you push down on these, they just don't get it quite as much energy transfer from your push into the bike. But again, it's an electric bike, so you might not even really be pedaling too much. The way this electric bike works is you've got a very simple control mechanism up here. You turn the key on, it lights up, it tells you how full your battery is, and then you just press the throttle. That's it. So there's no pedal assist mode. If you want to pedal this thing, you can, but it's really kind of like a scooter. And I guess I would advise being kind of careful, because, you know, as you can see here, all the weight is right there in the rear. You know, and that makes it easier to kind of like fishtail or slide out. Also, just parking it. I mean, if this thing falls over, that's a lot of weight right there, and that plastic case and everything. It's sort of it gives me pause when I'm thinking about this bike. Now, of course, Prodecos are relatively affordable as compared to some other e-bikes, and that's primarily because you buy them online, okay, versus in a shop, which means getting a service is going to be a little bit harder. You're going to have to do some assembly yourself when this comes, get the handlebars straightened out. Nothing too big, but just keep that in mind. I mean, you know, you're paying less, and you're getting a bike that you're taking some risks there in terms of like the lifetime of this bike. If you got this, even though it's got this huge front shock, I would not recommend riding it off-road just because of the battery pack and the weight balance issues there. But, you know, again, it gets the job done. And if you're just cruising around the streets like this, you know, it works. And the shock is nice because it sort of smooths out your ride going off curbs and stuff. So here we go. I'm just going to hop on this thing and show you the motor in action. So there we go. Just pedaling along. And by the way, that fender is not stock. That's kind of an add-on. You can probably hear it activating a little bit there. I'm going to gun it once more. Ooh. Putting that front shock to use a little bit. So maybe you get the idea. It's smooth, it's relatively quiet, not quite as torquey as some other bikes. Heavy battery, interesting placement there. That's the Prodeco Phantom X. For more info on this and other electric bikes, check out ElectricBikeReview.com, and I will see you there.